Good morning. Look at these conditions. It is completely glassy out here. Now, I wasn't expecting to come out today. The forecast was not particularly good, and it was forecast for thunderstorms, which is not particularly good. Normally, if I'm planning to go out, I'll get everything ready the night before, don't miss anything out, and then come out. However, I woke up this morning, it's a too tide day, so I didn't have the time to faff around. I needed to get on. Wife and daughter have come out with me, so we've cruised down the estuary, had a coffee, had a bacon roll. I've dropped the ladies off on the beach, and I'm taking a couple of hours just to pop out and see what's about. I've got some a lovely variety of frozen baits from Veterans Bait Supplies in my freezer, and that's exactly where they are, in my freezer. So I've come out accidentally without any bait. I'm only going to fish for a couple of hours. It's a beautiful day, it's warm, but it is a little bit overcast, so I'm not going to leave the girls on the beach for too long. I'm going to pop out to a reef with some lures and see what's about. Before I get there, I ended the last video with saying that the boat was going in the boatyard, and this is what they've done for me. So the old Honda carburetor engine has gone and been replaced by a second-hand Yamaha 100 fuel injection, and I've only had one quick trip to see what it was like just in the river, and this is my first trip out to sea, and it's really sweet. 4,300 revs, pushed it along at 20 knots, which is beautiful. It's running at the moment, just purring along quietly. One came up at the right price. The cowling's a little bit scratched, but it's very low hours, 270 hours on the engine, but I had a full diagnostic check done on it, and 150 of those hours are at idle. So yeah, couldn't resist that one, and it'll take me out nicely. I've got another couple of miles to go to the reef that I want to, so bring you back then. Okay, we've arrived at the reef. And like I said, I'm lure fishing today because left the bait at home. So pretty much got my go-to rig here, a boom with a 6-ounce lead, sliding boom onto fairly decent length of fluorocarbon. So we've got about 8 feet of 15-pound fluorocarbon, and I mentioned these on a previous video, lazy lures. I mentioned them, but never really had the conditions to get out and try them, so this will be the first time. Nice local Plymouth-based company. See how they work. Not sure which way it's going to drift. Actually, we've got a little bit of tide and a little bit of wind, and it's wind against tide. So first drift, as ever, is always a little bit of an experiment. See if it's going to drift where I want it to. I've got some mackerel feathers out at the back because never disappointed to catch mackerel for either bait or food. So they'll sit there a few turns off the bottom, and yeah, try this lure. Very simple lure fishing. The boom keeps it from tangling, and then just literally a few turns off the bottom to get it away from the pout, wind it up 15 or 20 turns, send it back down to the bottom. Second drop of the first drift. Doesn't feel like anything exceptional, but there are fish here. And the lazy lures work. Well done, boys. Little pollock for the lazy lures. And that'll swim back nicely. What was I saying about the boom to stop the tangles? I'll just undo this and drop it back down. Second drop and we're straight in again. This one feels a bit livelier, but not massive. Oh, I don't know. Quite a nice pollock actually. You'll have heard me say before that I don't like eating pollock, and that is true. But this is a nice fish, and from 36 metres of water, there's no barotrauma. You can see its eyes are all in good condition there, and that will go back nicely. The water is beautiful and clear at the moment. See if I can show you. I don't know if you can pick up the lure in the water there, but it is gin clear. The last time I was out here, there's a bit of May rot, they call it. It's an algal bloom, which if it's on the beaches, a lot of people think it's sewage because it does look like it. It looks horrible. It's brown and slimy. Yeah, and it's not good for catching fish. But that's gone now, or it's certainly gone at the moment. Tangle undone, we'll drop down again. Not quite drifting not quite where I wanted to drift, but we'll have one more drop and I'll reposition. So yeah, I was saying about the pollock, it's lovely to catch them in this depth when they can be returned. I don't like eating them, but they are really fun to catch. Even ones of that size, they'll shake their heads about. And when you get them a little bit bigger, they're strong enough, they'll just provide some crashing dives down to the bottom. And it's knocking again now. Yeah, they can be really good fun to catch. Anything sort of 5-6 pound and up, and certainly into double figures, are really, really good sport. I just don't like them on the table. I'm on the edge of the reef, and I'm drifting along the line of the reef, but right on the periphery. So it'll be a good drift if I move not that far really. I'm only about 50-100 yards away from where I want to be, something like that. So hopefully it's pollock around the edges, and in the middle there might be some bass, which I do like for the table. I was just winding the mackerel feathers in to change position, and picked up a launce on the way up. Look at the size of that one. More like a mini conger than a sand eel. But very good bait, so we'll put that one in water. Right, move on. Hopefully you can pick a bit of this up. So this is generally the reef that I want to fish on. That was just roughly my track out to the waypoint. So the first one is the light purple line is actually my direction. So we stopped here and drifted here. This is the rocky outcrop that I want to fish on. So just moved up a little bit so you can see how far 100 meters is. So we'll probably move between 50 and 100 meters further in that direction, and the drift will take us right over this rocky outcrop. That's the theory. Okay, new position. Same setup, mackerel feathers, a few turns off the bottom, and this lure going down. Get anything on the first drop, that's a bonus, but really it's going to be second, third drop maybe before I'm properly over that rocky outcrop, which I hope you could pick up. First drop bonus then. Feels like another pollock, and not a big one. But like I said, the hope is that the pollock are hanging around the edges, and once we get into the middle in a minute, there'll be some bass in there. Oh, I think I've just lost it. Yeah, that one dropped off. And that drift, yeah, is doing as predicted. Yeah, good. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a very long, low swell coming in from the Atlantic. Must be a system out there. This one's got a different fight to it, probably another pollock, but it's fighting a bit differently. That's why it's fighting differently. A little spiky grey gurnard. Stunning little fish. What a beautiful day out here. Surprised there's no other boats. Maybe the threat of the forecast put people off. Oh, missed that one. You don't normally need to strike into pollock and the like, just lift the rod into them. Otherwise, if you do, you'll lose them like I just did. And sometimes they won't take properly, like that one just didn't. There's something definitely nibbling at it, but didn't take it. Just on the top of the reef now, and the bites just seem to have dropped off a little bit. So perhaps all the fish are just on the leading edge. Maybe not. No. What do I know? Gurnard. That's quite high off the bottom, that one. They're quite spiky, these creatures, but I do find if you just handle them gently, avoiding the really sharp gill cases, can you see that one? And obviously the dorsal spines, then they're not bad to handle. And they always go back, which is nice. Hooked one on the way down there. This feels like a pollock. Also feels like it's starting to rain. Oh, it is not a pollock. That is a very nice sized grey gurnard. They will live for ages, so what I'm going to do is just I'll keep that one in the bucket for now. If I catch another one a similar size, I'll take them home for the pot. If it's just a single one, they're nice if you're going to put them in a fish pie or something like that. On its own I could do with a little bit more meat, so I'll keep that there for now and decide what to do. They're high up, they're really swimming for it. I know, in fact, that one was on the way down, that one. The previous one was high up in the water. Normally you'd expect them to be bottom feeders. I just switched the camera off because I was way off the mark, and thought I'd switch the camera off and reel in. And as I'm reeling in, I found something. Not convinced it's a table fish, but it's a fish, which is always nice. I don't know, there's a bit more weight to it. Ooh, something's on the mackerel feathers. It's a pout, they had to come at some point. I don't think that one will go back, but I'll put it in the bucket. See if it goes back, see if its eyes go back, and we'll see. But yeah, I'll move on to a different spot, I think. Just popping the mackerel feathers down at this new spot, and I don't even know if it's still on actually. Probably launched if it is. Yeah, now that is, it's foul hooked, but that is a lovely size live bait. So in the bucket for that one. Oh yes, and some mackerel. Always happy to catch a mackerel. And I know two people on the beach that are always happy for me to catch mackerel as well. Either a couple of mackerel or one pollock, I would have thought, feeling the weight of it. So one big launch just swum off. hook out, it's right in its gill case, which is hard, but that's another takeable size gurnard. So I'll sort that one out and we'll try again. I think it's the big fish we're after. It's another little rattler. Quite small, this one, whatever it is. Another lovely little gurnard. Just lip hooked. Oop, there you go. Ah, I had a decent one and lost it switching the camera on. I think it's, oh, hang on. No, there's something there. That I was not expecting. Never caught a wrasse out here on the reefs, and that is a chunky. That is a chunky old bass, wrasse rather. Let's see if he'll go back. I think that one's suffering a bit from barotrauma, but hopefully that will recover and return okay. This one feels like a bit of a fighter, not massive, but a bit bigger. Hooked himself. And that, for a red gurnard, is a really nice size. Can you hear hear it grunting? Right. Ooh. View up a little bit. Just repositioned again. See if we can get that, see if there are a couple more mackerel around. I'll get this line down at least. It's just starting to rain. Anyway, it's only light and it's warm. Just checked in on the beach. The rain hasn't reached the beach, so the girls are happy. In the last spot, I was with that ballan wrasse for 5 or 8 minutes, something like that. And I just changing the batteries on the GoPro, and it decided to just flick its tail and recover. So that's really nice. Couldn't catch it on camera, unfortunately, but yeah, nice if the ones that you don't want to eat go back well. I didn't think it was, actually. I thought it was just going to stay on the surface, but nope. Back it went, so that's good. Where are we? 37 metres here, and it's about 30 to the top of the reef. So that's 14 turns, which will do the 7 metres, and then another couple. So that should sit about 3 metres. Oh. Don't know whether we've got it or not. There's a little nibble there. Yeah, that should have sat about 3 metres above the shallowest bit of the reef. However, Nope, missed it. Definitely a little nibble of some sort. Yeah, it's about half a metre a turn for both of my reels actually, both of the multipliers. That's happened. There's absolutely no point in sending a tangled line down. One, it's not going to fish properly. The running boom isn't going to run, but if you've got a nip in the line, it's a weak point and it'll snap if you get anything half decent on. That was about a good 20 turns up, so I don't know what that is. Probably pollock. And it is little pollock. And the ratchet just ticked on this one, but it's set almost off just on the ratchet itself, so probably just tied. Nope, it's not just tied unless it picks something up on the bottom. Got more mackerel would be nice, but I've got a feeling this is possibly lawns. Yep, another nice size one then. Okay, repositioned again. I'm pretty impressed with those lazy lures. They've been catching all day, but I've just swapped them out now for a live lawns. So I've got exactly the same rig. I've literally just cut the lure off, popped on a Cox & Roll Sea Beast, a 4.0, and then hooked on a launce. So yeah, exactly the same rig, and I'll fish it in exactly the same way, to be honest. Just drop it down slower and the retrieve will be slower, but the same method really, down to the bottom, 20 turns up, and then down to the bottom again. Still got the mackerel feathers out the back, and yeah, a little bit further away from the reef this time because the drift's picked up a little bit. So a bit further to go. We're in 45 metres of water here before we pop up to the top of the reef at about 30 at the bottom. Been a lovely day so far, a little bit of rain, but nothing to worry you. It'd just be really good to round it off with a quality fish. Not that I'm happy with the fish we've caught so far. Gurnard lovely for the table, and mackerel obviously really tasty, but only 2 of them so far. Well, the live bait isn't doing it today. That's drifted right across. I had 1 pluck. Let's see what we've got left. But it would appear that the lures and that lazy lure is out fishing the live bait today. Pull this in and see what we've got. Live baits are prone to tangle, and something plucked at it early on, so I might even be fishing with an empty hook, and they ain't going to catch a lot. Oh, little twist, but hardly tangled really. Yeah, no, it's in still in good condition. There you go. Liberate the eel, you've done your work. If he goes down before the seagull gets to him. Right, where's that box? I've showed this on another video, but that's the one that's caught all the fish so far, Arctic Assassin. And the green one was the one I was using. I've also got a white one. There's a white one there, so we'll give it a go with that one and see if that does any good. Yeah, this will probably be my last drift unless something good happens and I'm tempted to stay a little bit longer. But I have a rendezvous on the beach organised, so get these mackerel feathers down. And let's have one more pass of the reef, this time with the white lazy lure on it. That lawn's fish seemed to fish well. It wasn't tangled, but just didn't produce one little plucky bite, but I couldn't see any sign of a bite marks on the fish itself. So it's either stopped or the live launch is just not as good as the imitations. This pass will tell. Nothing's taken on this drift, but I am getting bites on the lures, and I wasn't getting bites on the live eel. It feels like it's rattly pouting baits, but if that's all that's down there, then that's all you can catch. So yeah, they do seem to be fishing well, and strangely better than the live eel. Well, I think I'm calling it a day at that. What a lovely day out. Look at the weather, absolutely astonishing. Very impressed with those lazy lures. Here's that green one that I've been fishing with virtually all day, and there's a few nibble marks in it, but pretty robust really, to say it's had pout, pollock, and the spiny sharp teeth of gurnards, and the big teeth on that wrasse as well. Yeah, the big one didn't materialise, but yeah, nice to have a few species. Like I said, the wrasse, that was really unusual. Never had that on a reef out here before. Grey gurnard, red gurnard. What else did we have? Pout, pollock, and the lawns. Probably two different types there, with that really big one and the others as well. So yeah, mixed bag. Beautiful day out, really nice weather. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.